Hi, I wonder, how many of y'all have ever tried to install a TV or a Xbox or a PlayStation or a Dreamcast or a GameCube and were doing everything you thought you could do and thought you plugged everything right, that you realize you just have like no way able to see it. It's just not working for you. It's just not working in a way that you anticipated to work, that it should show up on the screen and you should be able to push the buttons and you should be able to play the games and watch the movies and do what you do, but things just aren't quite working for you. My name is Mark Anthony DuBose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. Today I'm talking about something very interesting that I think a lot of us get a little confused on with what it is that we're doing on day to day, that we think we have it all dialed in. We think that we got it all figured out. We think that we plugged every plug in the right position, the right place to be able to get what it is that we wanted to get working, and then we come to find out that it's just not working. It just says source not found. It just says can't be seen. You're trying to get down. It just says it can't be seen and it's not working right. Where it wasn't anything that you didn't do. It wasn't anything that you could do. It was something that you forgot to do. And something that you forgot to do was plug it into the correct source. And that correct source being me, a man of understanding who God is. The correct source is knowing that the only way that you're able to be able to work on yourself, fix yourself, get yourself in the right place is to have the right understanding that Jesus is the right source that you need to be utilizing to use to get things to work. That you could be going life doing everything and making it all happen and going to all these different religions and going to all these different stars and praying to the sun and praying to the moon and praying to the stars and praying to other people and praying to the trees and doing all that stuff that you think that some stuff comes to you, some stuff works. Where I'll say like the machine does load up, it does run. You can hear the DVD or the CD or the game drive in it just spinning up and whining and starting to work. It's all working, but yet you can't see it on the screen. You can't play the game. You can't watch the movie, but you can hear it all working. It's all working. Everything in the background, it's loading, booting, cruising, the fans are going, it's heating up, it's all working, but you can't actually use it. And I'm gonna say something very interesting, that's the concept of how God is, that you can't quite use him unless you know who Jesus is. And Jesus is the right source to be able to make sure that you have it plugged into, that you're dialed into, to make sure that you are able to use and utilize what it is that you want, what it is that you're trying to do. Now, some of us, I feel like we run into situations where we are fighting so hard. We're fighting so hard and trying to make things work. Fighting so hard, it's like, I know I got it set up right. I know I got everything dialed in right. But yet you forgot one plug in the back of that system that you realize, oh, I actually did need that. I didn't need to just discard that because I didn't know what it was or I didn't know exactly where it went. And sometimes we need to do a little research. We need to backtrack a little bit to figure out exactly what every single thing is for. Because if it was there, it's there for a reason. It wasn't just there just because. It's there for a reason. And that reason is to make sure that you are able to figure out how to be able to use it and how to be able to actually have the fun, have the freedom, have the good times of being able to use the platform instead of just having it be a box that's sitting there that's running, that's on, that's working, but you can't actually use it. You don't want to be a part of something that's working and not being able to actually use it. And that's something that I feel like a lot of us really need to start taking a good hard look at what it is that we do on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we are feeding from the right source, that it's working. God's working, it's running. He's always there. He proves himself every single day with everything that goes on, with how we live, how we breathe, how our hearts go, how we're just constantly able to just keep on waking up and keep on going to sleep and keep on eating and keep on drinking and keep on making life happen and keep on interacting with what we have around us and the fact that the waters are just right and the weather is just right and everything is just right and everything is going on just smooth. Like it's working, it's running. But if you're not plugged into the right source because you're not doing the right, say, research, the right understanding, using the right tools, and plugged into the right source, then things just aren't going to quite work for you. Where you're going to hear it in the background cruising, but you're not going to be able to actually experience anything with it because you're not dialed into the right source, and that source is making sure that you're communicating with our Savior that came here, Jesus, God, to be able to make sure that we are able to move forward and be able to have a nice, comfortable, smooth life on this planet without having to worry so much about being damaged in a way that we have something in the future to be able to look forward to be able to make sure that we're constantly maintaining and growing into being a better person on this planet. And a better person in the sense of, I still am confused with what I feel like a lot of people read and research and understand from this Bible and the teachings and preachings of Jesus, that they're out to really just try to destroy. That your Xbox isn't trying to destroy your TV. It's trying to work in tune with it so that you can enjoy it. It's not battling back and forth to try to figure out how to be able to just irritate you. No, it's here to upgrade your life in reality. It's here to be something relaxing. It's here to bring some freedom and some joy to you. That I feel like a lot of us get confused with the whole concept of what Jesus is and what God is, that it starts to bring a lot of destruction. It starts to bring like ruthless, hard, and evil things to you, where you think that it has like some sort of evil intentions, where I'm going to say that that's not at all who God is. That's one way for a fact I know you're plugged into the wrong source, where you didn't really do the research and do the understanding of knowing where each plug was supposed to go, that you plugged into the wrong source. And then when you have that wrong source on, like for instance your TV, you got waves going through. You can't see, it's like fuzzy. It's not quite clear. We're not quite able to actually see it. You can kind of see it. It's there. It's just super hazy to the point that you know something's going on there. You can see it booting up, but you can't actually use it because you can't quite see it. Where you need to take out from that source and go into another source. And another source that's able to actually, you be able to crystal clear, be able to have a good understanding of exactly what's going on here. I feel like a lot of us run into a situation where we think we have it set up right. We think we're, say, praying to the right thing. We think we're going by the, say, right guidelines. We think that we're doing what it is that we need to do to be able to upgrade on this planet. But you come to realize you're plugged into the wrong source. And you could be doing all the stuff. It's all working. It's all going so great for you. It's all going so smooth for you. But if you're not plugged into the right exact source, I'm telling you, you are not really going anywhere. You're just going to be spinning and going to see nothingness. You're not going to be able to upload and boot. You're not going to be able to see. You're not going to be able to sit back and enjoy. You're not going to be able to grab your popcorn and just watch it and have a laugh or sad or have a giggle or get terrified. You're not going to have any experience. You're just going to have the experience of it running. And I want more people to really just take a good hard look at what it is that you're actually plugged into with the source that you're actually asking for and asking from. That if you're asking from the wrong source, I'm telling you, it's going to be hazy. It's going to be irritating. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be aggravating. It's going to be nothing that brings any sort of joy, any sort of peace, any sort of freedom, any sort of just happiness to you in any way. It's going to bring frustration to you. But once you plug into the right source, I'm telling you, that source is going to bring you a lot of joy. It's going to bring you a lot of self-control. It's going to bring you a lot of patience. It's going to bring you some awesome, amazing wisdom. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to make sure that you are able to figure out how to be able to get through some of your problems and some of your issues, help you get through some of the good times that happen to you. I'm telling you, a lot of people I feel like look at God as a way of just something that, oh, I'm not hurting, I'm not sad, I'm not broken, I'm not destroyed, so I don't need him. But I'm telling you, wouldn't you want to have something even greater when you have greater, knowing that the only great thing that we can really do on this planet is to make sure that we can help other people around us and not just help ourselves to be able to be great. That if you ask upon God that in your good times to help you out with more good times so that you can help out some people that aren't in some good times, that's going to be the one way that you are really going to be able to upgrade and, don't worry about him, upgrade and escalate your life into doing something absolutely great on this planet that's really going to complete you. It's really going to satisfy you. And if you just give money to some charity thinking that you're doing something, I'm telling you, that's not really going to bring anything to you, because you're just going to keep doing that and find out in the end that you're not really getting anywhere, because you're not actually in it. You're not actually helping anything. You're not actually in the middle of a process of making sure that you're seeing things get better. You're just like letting someone else take care of it for you, where you're not really in it. And that's where I would say that I want God to be able to be more in my life and have a little bit more control, so that I am able to make sure that what it is that I'm trying to be able to do better on this planet, that I have his assistance to be able to help me make sure that I am getting better. Because I'm telling you, a lot of these people that have a crazy abundance of money, they are the most disturbed people on this planet, where they start to do some very, very damaging things because they think that they need to, because they don't know what else to do. And when you don't know what else to do without having the understanding of knowing who God is, you're going to head down a very, very destructive pattern, where you're going to be starting to think that you can create the new TV and create the new source. And you can start creating the new game. You can start creating the new system. You can start creating all of that, when in reality, you can't. You can't create that. You can't create God. You can't recreate something that's already created everything. You gotta, no, there's no way to do that. I can't even say that you got this, because there's nothing that you could do with that, because this is all already here. You can't recreate something, make something new of your own, and then think that you made something new inside of something that's already been created. It's just something that's already been completed by God already, if you create it here. So it's something I feel like people run into a situation where you plug it into the wrong sources, and then you think that you need to create some new sources. And that's where it gets very dangerous. And some of us that are not the billionaire, trillionaires on this planet that are running and ruling the world, that You're looking to be able to figure out how to be able to upgrade your life so that you can be able to do something. And I'm telling you, you don't need to create anything new. You just need to make sure that you're dialed into the right source so that you can actually enjoy, so that you can actually have some fun, so you can actually have some freedom and some peace, so that you can actually do something instead of feeling like you're just a slave and can't ever get anything done. And you're a slave when you're not in the right source. But you could be doing all the right stuff. You could be saying all the right words. You could be chanting all the right chants. You could be withholding yourself from doing certain things. But if you're not dialed in to making sure that Jesus is the way, all that just doesn't matter. You could be reading any book you want. You could be reading any stories you want. You can go to any religion you want. But if you're not dialed in and knowing that Jesus is the man, is the one, is God, then everything that you're doing, you're not plugged into the right way. And with that said, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for a very interesting situation that just happened to me of trying to figure out what it is that I'm doing, that I thought I had everything set up with this. I thought everything was good to go. I hit the record button and nothing was happening. And I come to realize I wasn't plugged in to the right source, that everything was right. All the lights were on, everything was dialed in, everything was set up. But when I hit record, nothing happened. Nothing happened because I didn't have a direct line of communication to source to make sure that I was able to have what it is that I needed to work and work right in a way that I was going to be able to have the ease of access the way that I want to be able to have. I don't want to have to stand up and go over there. This is the power of God, people. I don't want to have to stand up and go up there and hit the record button. I don't want to have to set up everything that if I don't have the motion going to make sure that my remote works to be able to do what I got to do. I don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to have a direct line of communication that I just don't have to worry about all the fuss and all the hassle and all the everything, that I could just make it work. And that direct line was something that I thought was going to be simple. And then I realized in the end, it was simple. It was simple because I just didn't plug in the right plug in the right place, in the right location to be able to get what it is that I needed. And then once I realized to go into the right place, it was so simple. Everything was just so awesome. Everything was so easy. I didn't have to struggle. I didn't have to worry. I didn't have to fiddle with certain things and change different settings and do this and do that. Sometimes we just need to make sure that we're plugged into the right source to make sure that we're having the ease of access that we really want to be able to have and really want to be able to be a part of out here. That sometimes we need to really just let go of what it is that we think that we know what's best and make sure that we're dialed in the right place. I'm just so thankful to be able to be out here and be able to continue to keep doing what it is that I'm doing. I'm so thankful for the way that things are starting to change for me in a way that, like I said, things don't quite make sense to me. That I'm not putting myself and pushing myself out to get what it is that I have. That I'm relying and allowing God to be, Johnny, let's get down. You're not hot. You sunbathe all day anyways. Down. To be able to, Johnny, down. To be able to make sure that I'm constantly keep on having what it is that I'm having and doing what I'm doing, that I'm not pushing myself out there, that I'm just relying on God to make happen what he says he's going to make happen, what his promises are. And soon enough, I'll be able to talk a little bit more about things that I've been, like, say, testing and challenging and working on and trying to get through, to be able to give you more insight and more understanding of exactly who God is and what he's all about and what he's able to bring. When you rely 100% on him, when you take yourself out and start to remove yourself away from knowing that you in control, or you think that you're the one that's in control, where when you 100% remove yourself and allow God to 100% move in, things are going to be very, very interesting for you in such a way that you're going to be shocked and surprised and confused all at the same time. We're not really going to know exactly what to do because things just start working, and it's not going to be instant. And I think that that's kind of the way that I feel like a lot of people just quit and give up. And I'm so thankful for myself of just not giving up and I'm very thankful of being very patient, that every time I would have this feeling in me of like, I'm not sure if I'm not sure what, that like God would just mark patient. Just I got you, man. Just slow back a second. Just keep doing that over there. Keep focusing on that and don't try to go into anything destructive. Don't try to go back to anything that you used to do. Don't try to take out from this source to go to another source to try to figure out how to be able to make things work right now. Just give me a second. Give me a day. Give me a 2. Give me a week. Give me even a month. Give me a year and see what's going to happen. As long as I'm getting that inspiration of saying, he's got me, I feel like I have no choice but to just let it go. I'm so thankful to be able to be out here and keep doing this. And I hope that what I'm able to do, what I'm able to show, what I'm able to, in reality, even prove at the same time, will be able to show someone else that God is real. That once you really have a good understanding of knowing that God is real, that things are going to start changing for you in your life, that you are not going to be able to slow down or even stop, that you're going to want to stand up and tell the whole world about it the same way, because it's that powerful. He really is that powerful. God is that powerful. He's powerful because he made this and he created this. And sometimes we as humans, we want it right now. And I feel like the design behind everything today being instant is really destroying us from understanding of who God actually truly really is. That since we think that everything should be instant, we think that God should also be instant, and he's not. He's like old school mail carriers that used to take you 2-3 weeks to get your mail. Today we get our mail in about a day or two. It's getting a little thrown off. That God's more like the old school original methods of it's gonna get there. And when it gets there, you're gonna greatly appreciate it. And you're gonna greatly appreciate it to the point that you're gonna wanna share that with as absolute many people as you can. And I just wanna say thank you.